I think initially we can all agree on one thing, that the paranormal community is absolutely saturated with fakery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's diabolical, really.
Like some of them are faked so badly that you're quite sort of impressed.
Some of them are like, they get too many wins, too many amazing stuff happen all the time, and that's not really consistent. Do you know what I mean? Like, it took us ages to ever get anything decent, and sometimes we get nothing. So for somebody to always get the most amazing proof ever, every single time, just by then I'm like, wow, they haven't had an episode where they've not hit it off. Maybe they're faking all of them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it ruins it for people like us though, because we're trying to portray the truth. I mean, a lot of people, what they say about our episodes is that our reactions are genuine. When we actually see something, feel something, or if something happens, it's genuine.
Yeah, I'll add to that actually. When you see these channels and they've got massive subscribers, there's an element of entertainment that they have to please all their viewers, you know, so they overreact on every occasion.
I couldn't give a shit. I'd happily sit under 1,000 subscribers and be true to myself rather than fake something just to get 10,000 subscribers. I couldn't give a shit.
We've almost got to 1,000 subscribers by being true, but it's nice that obviously there are some people out there that do this, but if it's nonsense, we'll debunk it straight away. We'll debunk it in our own episode. You know what I mean? We'll be like, no, that's a poop caca, that's a fox, or that was just Mark, he farted quickly. And then we'll say that, or even sometimes we'll do something, we'll get a bit carried away, and then like half an hour later, or at the end of the episode, we'll go, oh, maybe what we heard earlier was this because we've now heard this. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people don't really do that.
What I'm interested to ask is, Elliot, now you're joining us this evening as a skeptic, and you've watched some of our episodes. What do you make of them?
Yeah, they're good. I think that, like, the problem is, and it's this problem that you're going to have in any entertainment, isn't it? Is that you don't keep in the bits where you're sat for 5 hours and fuck all's happening. Well, by definition, it's impossible because it's, you know, who's going to watch that, you know? So, but the hits that you do get, I do think are significant. As to what they are, you know, I don't think it's ghosts. I think it's more likely dodgy plumbing or, you know, anything really. I feel like the leap to ghosts maybe a little bit much.
There might be something that maybe we've not discovered yet.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
It's another possibility.
Maybe.
I know it does happen though, but to add to what you said though, like, we do keep the original reels of like extreme stuff. So like at the moment we're in the clock tower, so let's say for example one of the chairs goes flying, it will be shortened down to when that happens, but then if someone goes, do you have that original long 30-minute clip, if you will chat for hours, I would go, yes, here it is.
I would love to see a ghost, but I don't think that's going to happen.
We haven't seen a ghost.
No. We see a ghost.
We don't even say
just
it.
have experience.
You'd love to see something that, or hear something
explain.
that you can't explain or based off of normal things.
Yeah, exactly.
So like if we're in a building and something goes, and it's in the building, and you'll be like, right, that was something.
Yeah, I admit that it was something. I admit that I heard something, but you know, again, the idea is to
say it's a ghost.
No, the idea is to go straight to the source of it and to go
figure out
what is it, you know, and then you just.
A lot of the time, though, I'll say this: we can't figure half of our stuff out. It's virtually impossible.
No.
And like, you can speculate all you want, and that's all you've got to go by.
You don't know until you sit there. So I'm here, I'm open to think something might happen. I don't think we're going to see something manifest itself and go,
grey lady walking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What can really change a skeptic is seeing something like a shadow figure.
Yeah, but
That's what changed Josh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still very skeptical, but shadow figure. If you see something like that, because obviously I've seen it, but it's the only thing it's done to me is go, I need to see it a second time to know that it's real.
I've always said that to you, Josh. The first time I met you, I said, when you do see something,
I've got it on film. I'm so annoyed I just didn't have my camera there.
You want that experience again, and you'll always want it again. I've said it to you. I've said it to loads of people.
Just once more. I don't need it multiple times. Just one more time. The exact thing I've seen, and I don't think it was ghostly. It could be anything. Do you know what I mean? It could be like you said, a sciencey thing. Like we don't know really how time works. There could just be little stamps of stuff left that we don't know, energies or whatever. I don't really know, but there's something there. What I've seen wasn't like it's unexplainable. So
We've toyed with the idea of dimensional stuff. We really have, and we look
But
into
then
it.
you go down the realms of sci-fi then. And
Yeah.
It's like, well,
How can, let's say, millions of people around the world be wrong about something that is so skeptical that we have no
Which
proof
dates back.
whatsoever?
There are millions of people.
Cultures
There are billions
Yeah.
of people around the world that believe in a god, but they can't all be right because they believe in different gods. So some of them at least.
I think the only time where you would question something like that is if you date back something in time that's been consistent with the same story. So when it comes to gods,
Right.
it's like different people say different things about their individual god. I mean, years ago there was multiple gods.
They do, but
But if there
also
was a story of seeing something specific, so saying, let's say someone's got a story of a shadow and it looks like this and looks like that, and that story matches throughout the decades, then it's kind of like.
But those stories are only hundreds of years old.
But look at this for an example.
Thousands of years old.
16 other people have seen what Josh has seen. Now he didn't know that.
In a court
Yeah, I had
of law,
no
that would be
idea. I was just
classified as
looking.
it like higher chance of being
And they've all described individually, without meeting each other,
Well,
the
it's
same
correct.
thing.
how it looked exactly the same.
It's just too odd to ignore. Do you get my view?
I see. I agree it is significant, but it could be anything. It could be something about the house which creates some sort of shadow at some point.
I don't argue the toss on what it is. I just know.
Next time someone
it
sees
happens.
it, tell them to check their watch.
And so I think it's those personal things that like you have only seen and that no one else has that are really could make
Yeah.
a skeptic believe. Like if you saw a shadow figure that only you saw and no one else has, I think you'd probably question it.
It depends how
It's-
extreme of a
Yeah.
skeptic you are, though, because then you might question your own eyes if you don't have footage to back up what you've seen.
Oh, I definitely would.
Yeah.
which is what I'm doing.
It's-
Is why I need to see it a second time.
It's what makes
Uh,
you go crazy, makes you want to do more
There-
ghost stuff. If
There,
you see
there is never a point of satisfaction with ghost
Yeah.
hunting. There never is. You always want more. You always want something to prove it more to yourself. I've had so many people go, if I see that happen, then I'm done. And you know what? It's just utter bullshit because you just want it again and you want it again.
Like shadows for me.
Yeah.
There's items, like big fucking items that have moved seamlessly by themselves. Like in here, if that table suddenly lifted up like that and then came back down again. No, actually, those tables up there. So there's two tables up there. Imagine they lifted away from that position, sat there, and slammed back down again, and there's no one near them. Now that's not normal. That's not normal.
Yeah, but you should get more than one person to see it.
Yeah, we did.
I couldn't prove that you saw that.
Yeah, but then,
or you
this
because I then
then would be then on that, so then I could then show you, and that's effectively what we do. We go, we've witnessed this. Here it is on camera. What the hell? Figure that out, people, because I cannot figure out, and for the life of me, it does my head in that you go to people that are in the scientific field, and they won't touch it with a barge pole because it gets deemed as pseudoscience, and then they lose their credibility when I think that it needs to be looked into. Because if there's an energy source that's been able to lift that table up and slam it back down again that I can't see, and that, why can I not harness that?
I've said one thing for years, is that for a believer, you don't need any proof, but for a non-believer, no proof is enough. Now, if Mark's seen a ghost, or you've seen a ghost, you'd go, I don't believe it, I want to go up to Jordan Dragon and have a pint with you, and discuss about your life.
Or death?
It wouldn't be enough. There
Well,
would
you
never
see-
be enough.
You're looking down there quite a lot.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Okay.
Well, we're all sat here
I'm
chatting.
always when
I'm
you
always
start looking in the direction.
I'm always the one with the eyes.
You say how it's weird that people don't, how you can't understand how people don't believe, right? But surely not believing is like the default position, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's what everyone would
For
start.
me, I can't
Yeah.
speak for everybody else. For me, it's personal because I've lost
Yeah.
a lot of loved ones. So I want to believe that I will see them again. That's
Yeah.
my belief. I'm not saying your belief is wrong. I'm not saying mine or anybody
But
else's is
you're
wrong.
you're also searching for answers
I'm
yourself.
searching for answers
Yeah.
on a personal level. That's why I believe. That's why I want to believe. But the things that Chris has shown me and we've seen collectively don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Even the footage that's not been broadcast that we've seen doesn't make sense. If you was to see it, you would even question it.
I'll tell you what, forget ghosts, forget all the theory on it. What don't make sense to me is how the fake channels get viewed more than the real channels.
That's just because
That don't make sense.
You know
That bothers me massively.
What's that top fives one that's always?
You want about?
Um,
You want about ad number one?
Yeah. But some of the clips that they show on there, they're just like, it's insane.
Sometimes they show clips that are from like bloody films or sketches, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you obviously haven't done any research. He goes, I'm never watching you guys again. I just watch these. Go, oh, and I'm like, that's literally from a film or from a TikTok. So
Yeah.
no. So yeah, the amount of times I've just gone, do you know what I mean? I'd rather watch number one. There's a guy inside a cupboard. Do you remember what's his name? Oh, yeah. It's,
Do you think we should crack on now and
Yeah, no, like with that all in mind, what all I can ask from people, and this is me saying this as somebody who was fucking adamant that I was so adamant that there wasn't anything that for 2 years I was offering people £1,000 because I was that confident that there was that I could figure everything out, right? And I would go into places and wind it up. So bear in mind that I was like that. I just need you to just put your mindset in the possibility that there is strange occurrences that go on that maybe can't be explained currently.